A recent survey done by Deloitte Millennials revealed that at least 63% of young people in the business sector feel their leadership skills are not being fully developed. According to the survey that was done earlier in 2016 this year, not enough is done in the business sector to ensure that the new or the next generation of business leaders are being developed and created. Let's take this further, and in studio with us we're joined by Vuyo Kobokoane, the executive head of the Professional Provident Society. It's a service provider focusing on graduate professionals. Great to have you in studio, Vuyo. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Leah.
In your opinion, what do you think is causing this underdevelopment leadership skills in the work sector amongst the youth?
So maybe just for context, the Professional Provident Society is actually a company of graduate professionals itself. So we provide financial services and solutions specifically to graduate professionals. So the issue here for us is that we have an interest in making sure that young graduates have a successful outcome, to the best of their ability. And that is the importance of it, is transitioning from campus into a world of work is not an easy job. So mentorship is particularly important to them.
Yeah. Now, if we go and look at a couple of reasons as to what's going on, I mean, why is this the leadership skills and the skills for that new and next generation not being handed down?
I suppose partly because we get carried away with doing business as usual.
Yeah.
So yes, we bring young graduates into the business through internships and other normal recruitment processes. And we have certain expectations. So yes, they have technical skill and qualification. What we need to do is to nurture so they become more productive more quickly. And I think oftentimes we expect young people just get on with it and just work. We don't necessarily focus on that. And that's really shooting ourselves in the foot. Yeah. Because with this new generation, we need new ways of thinking, new ways of engaging, especially millennials.
If you think about millennials and the way they think,
correct,
it's completely different.
Right.
I mean, it's a mind shift that perhaps you and I don't even understand.
Yes, exactly.
And that's how the world is turning.
That's how the world is moved.
In a way, it's almost like it's a great relationship to have between the current leaders and these new guys coming in, because you can learn so much from them, and yet we're not engaging
into it. So often in our internship, certainly we encourage the cohort to give us those new ideas, to breathe in this new life. How do we engage with you? Typically on digital platforms, instantaneous, just in time. And we're not doing enough of it, certainly, and that's why we as the foundation have actually sought to put such programs in place.
Yeah. So is it very much so? I mean, my question to you is the practical solutions that can be put in place. What are you recommending? I mean, what do you think companies should be doing to try and fix the situation that we find ourselves in?
Look, certainly engage more with millennials. This is Generation Y. There's a whole new world and a new way of thinking about some of these things. We as the foundation, for example, have set up this program because we're a company of graduate professionals. We have access to just over 200,000 of these members. So be it doctors, engineers, lawyers, we have access to those members. Those are our customers, and we're saying we can help create that relationship by mentoring new graduates who are qualifying and coming into the business. That's certainly one of the ways in which we are facilitating that conversation. Yeah. So if you want, whether you're going through an entrepreneurship track, so you want to start your own practice or law firm, we have access to such expertise and wisdom within our customer base, and they're willing to do that. They're willing to share it, and that is the basis of our mentorship program.
Do you think some of these programs should actually become compulsory in certain companies?
I certainly wish they would.
In all companies,
in all companies. And most companies do have some form of leadership development, of some mentorship program. What's important for us as PPS is the fact that because we're a company of graduate professionals, our interest lies in developing graduate professionals. So everything we do around that, whether it's facilitating financial access to enter tertiary education, or to just be to have a place where you can actually apply your newly acquired skills, it's very important for us, because that is the future generation. That is our future leadership. So it certainly works for us to be able to do that and support them in that way.
How would you define a leadership skill? I mean, I suppose that's really the basic.
Isn't it just?
Yeah, it is. What is it?
So certainly, my perspective is that it is an ability. So technical skill is one thing, right? So technical competence is almost a given, but it's the ability to lead people, to engage people, to communicate people, whether those people are senior to you or whether it's interacting with different people, your peers, your colleagues, but inspiring people, inspiring them and leading them to a particular vision or strategy, co-creating that. So the confidence and the ambition to do that, those for me are some of the critical leadership skills that we are missing, but also initiative, which is why with our cohort currently, we are saying, bring it on, bring the new things that you've learned. We're an old company, we're 75 years old this year. So we need to have that newness breathed into our own business. So we become relevant socially and corporate and corporate-wise, and be able to engage with the new millennials. So they are the people who are going to take us to that next level of leadership.
It's an interesting conversation, and a conversation that is it's desperately needed. So won't you just give us your contact details if people are perhaps interested in getting hold of you and if they'd like to engage in some of these programs?
Absolutely, we look forward to that. You can email us on info@ppsfoundation.co.za.
Okay, so that's the ppsfoundation.co.za. So it's info@ppsfoundation.co.za.
That's right.
All right, excellent. Thanks for talking to us, Vuyo. It's been a pleasure listening to you. And it's the reality. It's the world we find ourselves in. Absolutely. And we may not be passing those skills on to the new millennials. And the reality is, we need them and we need their information. So things have changed, and things are changing fast and furiously. So we need to engage with them and find out what this new world is going to look like. Vuyo Kobokoane, who is the executive head of the Professional Provident Society. Thanks so much for talking to us here on the program.
Thank you, Leah.
All right.